Hi everyone, this is Dr. Susan Hickman with the Mental Fitness Institute, continuing today with our series on infant parenting. What I want to talk about today is really about education. It is your obligation, your absolute obligation, to be educated on child development, on proper discipline techniques, on handling the emotional turmoil of being a parent, the anxiety, the stress of parenting. You cannot do this without education. We cannot rely, no one actually can rely on what they learned wholly, as a child, because your parents made mistakes, you will make mistakes. Far better to get some solid education. There is no excuse for not knowing what to expect. Like, for example, in the first 3 years of development, get a child development book. There are plenty on the market. Study it. Understand what you can expect from a child. At what age? Because if you're asking a 6-month-old or a 1-year-old to do what they really can't do until they're 2 years of age, then you're not being a good parent and you're setting them up for feelings of failure, frustration, anger, and conflict between you and your child. So today's tip really is about encouraging you. You must educate yourself. We have to have a license for so many things, but we don't have to have a license for being a parent. And I'm not saying that we should regulate it in that way, but we ought to behave as parents as though we need a license and educate ourselves fully. Take the time. There are great books out there. Study. Know what discipline looks like, what good discipline looks like. The problem is that we often fall back on what was done for us. So if you got spanked every 10 minutes and spanked with a belt and bruises were left, and that was just, well, I turned out okay, that's good enough for me. No, it's not good enough. It is not good enough. We have to move beyond how we were parented into being much better parents for our children. Understand the emotional needs of the child at every age and what you can expect them to do. Understand how to show unconditional love. Now, here's a big, big thing with children. Even when they have quote unquote done something wrong, you must show love, that they are loved, that they are separate from what they actually do, and that you love and accept them. It is the behavior that you're disciplining. And so education on the psychology of children is absolutely crucial. Look beyond. Look back and survey, how were you parented? Try to have an objective conversation with someone about this, maybe even a sibling or your pastor or a friend. Get their take on it, because what you may think was normal was actually not normal at all. But understanding where you're coming from, see what your weaknesses are, and then shore those up. Get educated. Love your children enough to get educated. Take care.